Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is technically part 2 of this series, but frankly, I have no idea how I got to this point in my existence. Let's just get this over with, I suppose. First we have the main 6, which was actually the first. I was originally going to do The Simpsons, but I decided against that and did the main 6 instead, because I had no idea how I was going to do The Simpsons before the whole Death Note thing. So first off we have, obviously, Rainbow Dash, who is frankly my favorite of the main 6, aside from Twilight. I like both of them. Before you made fun of me for her tentacle choice, for her tentacle coloring later on, I didn't ask. So if I'm rambling, I'm sorry. That's just how I do things. Anyway, what's your guys' favorite pony? I'd be interested to hear what you have to say. As you can see, I'm currently sketching out Pinkie Pie. Not everyone is what you think. Like, some are Inklings, some are Octolings, and some are my personal favorite, due to a glitch, Inktolings. I swear, sometimes the hair of these creatures is very confusing. And frankly, so designs would be, for me, impossible if not for the Bishoujo line of My Little Pony figures, which I forgot existed until now, and Equestria Girls, and fight me on this one if you don't believe me, but I have a soft spot for Equestria Girls. Fucking fight me on this one, okay? Well, there are two. There is one that's complete garbage, and you can go the entire... And I mean almost the entire series without watching, and that's Equestria Games. Fuck Equestria Games. All my homies hate Equestria Games. As you can see, I've just finished inking and coloring Rainbow Dash. Yeah, don't make fun of how I'm drawing her, of how I colored in her hair. I had to implement the rainbow colors somehow, and you know the rules of Splatoon. After a turf war, the color of the ink changes. So obviously I had to make some sort of dyed or stained aspect. Next is rarity. And frankly, some of these elements of harmony, they don't fit, you know? Like, sometimes Rainbow Dash isn't as loyal as she says she is, and other times Applejack isn't as honest as she says she is, but at that point, I'm beating a dead horse, and a dead horse does not need any more bruises. It can't even bruise, it's already dead. Rants aside, just giving everyone else line art, giving Rarity line art because she's behind Pinkie Pie, and Twilight is in front of Pinkie Pie, and everyone's everyone's line art interconnects with each other. I kinda sorta had to line the others before I could even color them. But yeah. Do you have a pony, Sona? I'd be interested in finding out. As you can see, yeah, there's the Bishoujo and the Equestria Girls figure. I mean, I didn't like either of their outfits, so I just gave her one I actually liked. Really love how I'm doing this, by the way. I mean, you can laugh all you want, I don't care. But I am particularly proud of the coloring. And I especially love the Bishoujo, but for Twilight, her skin tone is very different from her Bishoujo figure, but for a very specific reason. Basically, and I learned that in the original Equestria Girls concept art, she was going to be a person of color, to put it lightly, because I don't want to offend anyone. I probably offended someone by saying person of color. Anyway, she was going to be black, so I made her that, but also gave her vitiligo to reference the actual Bishoujo figure. Fight me on this. I'm not coloring her hair the way it normally is. I refuse to do stripes in hair. That's already the way it is. Applejack was, frankly, the easiest to color, in my opinion. Or she was just the most fun to color. Love her freckles and love her boots. Fluttershy was surprisingly sort of challenging, actually. So I love how her rings are just hearts instead of actual rings. I think that was a cute touch of mine. I'm just labeling them so stupid people can read. Next is the CDMC. I actually changed their lore a bit for the sake of this, whatever this is. I knew that since the CMC would basically risk everything in order to get their cutie marks in the show, I decided, maybe they earn their marks in a sense by saving someone from being sanitized in the deep sea metro, which is why later on you'll see that they have green marks on them. That's from that's the sanitization fluid. Yeah, blame Splatoon lore, not me. Frankly, all of them were really fun to draw, but I particularly love how I drew Apple Bloom's face. Her face is my absolute favorite. She's the Inktoling in the middle with the mark on her skirt. I love her face to bits. You'll see it better in a minute because of the inking. I also love how I drew her hair. I was actually inspired to draw these characters as Inklings and Octolings from a series I found on TikTok. I'll have to link them in the description because I love their work. And their art is fucking adorable. And I couldn't find... There weren't any Bishoujo figures for them, so I had to use fan art. Credit to whoever drew it. Your art is fantastic. But yeah, that's where I got the coloring from. As well as Equestria Girls for their clothing and such. You'll see that Sweetie Belle is the only one I really changed. Well, fully changed. I changed all of them, but only so they match their cutie mark colors or their... Sweetie Belle I changed so she'd have the cutie mark colors. But the others I changed, but the other colors stayed relatively the same. Sorry for the music cutting out. I just needed to get something out of the way. But yeah, you can see that I'm relatively finishing up the coloring here. All that's left to do is the leggings, and we're done.
Just for that, you get the butt!
I hope that made you angry, because frankly, in my opinion, Luna is best princess. Fight me on this. I will probably won't win, but I'm gonna put up a fight. Anyway... I figured I'd make them all Inktolings because they can only be accessed in-game through a glitch, which I'm 90% sure is patched now. But that doesn't stop me from fucking loving these things. They're so cool. And it would most likely be what would reasonably happen if an Inkling and Octoling were to breed. I mean, they're close enough where they can speak the same language, walk on their hind legs, so they have to be close enough genetically to reproduce, to make an Inktoling. Genetic rambling aside, I literally gave Luna a Squidward quote, which is just, I hate all of you. Because I'm pretty sure that's how she feels about the other 4 princesses. I didn't draw Flurry Heart because I didn't want to draw Flurry Heart. She sucks and she adds nothing to the story. You'll see that, well, that Luna has a scar on her face that you'll see in a moment when I'm done inking Cadence. Yes, that is Cadence. Yeah, you'll see here in a minute that, yes, Luna does have that scar. That's from her fight with Celestia after she became Nightmare Moon. That's also why some of her tentacles are cut off. Meanwhile, Celestia looks like a businesswoman. Her ponytail, pardon the pun, was hell to draw at first, though. I didn't know what I was gonna even do with her jeans. Here I am fixing the sweater. I wanted to color Celestia first, out of spite. I don't like Celestia. She annoys me. I think she's incompetent, but if you like Celestia, well, I'm not gonna fight you on it. I'll want to, but I won't. It's your opinion, and you're entitled to your own opinion, even if I don't agree with it. Frankly, I think her coloring turned out quite well. Especially, I frankly prefer Luna's better. But also, I am very biased in that regard. I gave her more cover-up clothes because the night tends to get relatively cold. And I decorated her skirt with all sorts of stars and such because... obviously. That's why. Because obviously. Cadence... I had to literally guess on what her skin tone was. Because I don't agree with the whole using the line over a grayscale skin tone chart. I'll use it later on for another group, but never mind. That's the princesses. The student 6, I wasn't originally planning on drawing. It's just that I figured I should draw more characters in different species, so I decided to do that with the student 6 because they're obviously the most diverse group in the series. But frankly, I dropped the show after the whole school season started. It was just very obnoxious to me. I made each one a different species. I made Sandbar a regular inkling. I made Gallus a vampire squid. Silverstream is an octoling. I forgot her name, but she's a anemone. Yona is an inktoling, and I fucked up. The octoling is named Silverstream, and the anemone is named Oculus. Yona the yak is an inktoling, and Smolder is a leafy sea dragon, like what I did with Maleficent, if you've seen part 1. I figured I'd just make all sorts of weird species just to represent them all. I figured it was appropriate. Who's your favorite? Who do you tolerate most out of the student 6? Because I found it... Oh yeah, you see here that I'm actually using the skin tone guide. Behind the scenes a bit, I actually set the iPad into grayscale mode to do that. It just doesn't show here. But that's how I got the skin tones. I mean, if you don't agree with me, you can fight me, because I don't fully agree with it either. Coloring was fun, though. It was very fun. Everyone is so unique and colorful. And I'm particularly proud of how I did Silverstream's tentacles. They're all just very interesting characters. The hardest part was actually the car. And then there's... I'm pretty sure they're a poly couple, but it's Starlight Glimmer, Sunset Shimmer, and Trixie Lulumoon. I made them all octolings because I could, and I like drawing octolings. They're really fun. I love their hair. What am I gonna say here? Just looked at the editing process now. I realized I put Real Player Part under here, and that was not intentional. That was not intentional in the slightest. Personally, my favorite out of these 3 is Sunset Shimmer. When I was in middle school, I would listen to and sing My Past Is Not Today all the fucking time. Like it was my job or something. And I just did not like... I did not like the other 2. Starlight Glimmer and Trixie Lulumoon. Trixie was always a bitch to me, in my opinion, and frankly, I don't support cult-like activity like what Starlight Glimmer does. Really happy with their different tentacle styles, though. I love them to bits. Sorry for rambling so much. I didn't know what to do, and I couldn't find very many appropriate memes, except for the one that just poked fun at my complete hatred for Celestia. Again, if you don't agree with that, you're allowed to disagree with me. I might think you're an idiot, but I won't disagree. After this, that about does it for this video. I hope you like, subscribe, and look at my Redbubble page. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you soon. Let's finish up, and bye-bye. For those of you who want proof that yes, Celestia is not Celestia. Luna is my favorite princess. If I just reach above my desk here, she's a bit messy. I need to clean her mane. But that is Princess Luna that I keep on a shelf above my desk. Thanks for watching.